Hello and welcome to yet another Outside Inside Star Citizen. They showed a bunch of things this time, and it's 6 p.m. right now, and I want to release this video today, like until 9 or 10 p.m. So there's not going to be a lot of editing in this one. So let me roll the intro and let's see what they said in the Inside Star Citizen.
Hello, my name is Grumpy.
So, have you have you ever seen the ISC videos before, where we do QA?
Yes.
What did you think about previous QA videos?
Yeah, it's been really cool, and it's been nice that the users have been able to highlight what QA does.
Have you ever looked at the comments or anything?
I
think the comments were a bit interesting, to say the least.
Are you saying people don't like QA videos?
Well, that was a weird start of the show, but also, what do you mean? Like, we all love QA videos, right? And we all love QA guys because they bring the best quality control that we have in the gaming industry. But yeah, I think that they are referring to comments on why do you have QA when the game is in this state?
The difference between embedded QA and general QA is that we work closely with the development teams.
we provide direct feedback to locations and features that they are working on.
So for me, that's the lighting team and the interactables team.
I work hand in hand with the various different content teams, so Sandbox 1, 2, EUL1, EUL2.
You know, because the lighting team is kind of one of the teams that work on things right at the end. It's usually the case where I'm kind of jumping on a location just before the rest of the QA department hop on it.
We look out for specifically art-related issues. That could be things like missing materials, replace me textures. With a normal QA, they would have to put in a bug report, it gets sent off to production, and they send it over to the appropriate artist or designer. Whereas for me, I'm essentially cutting out the middleman. I can just directly go to a developer or an artist or designer and say, hey, I've noticed this issue, is this intended? Or just giving them real-time feedback and bugs.
I mean, I gotta cut in and say that in every PTU that I played, there was at least a single replace me ball somewhere around the verse. And yeah, I'm not saying that he's doing a bad job, of course, but I think that they are they need more manpower for testing a universe this big, a game this big. So having two guys that are talking to the developers directly is just weird. Maybe there's more of them and they just Jared didn't show them, but still, I don't know. And on top of that, you have bugs that are just there forever now. They're not getting fixed. And CAG's devs, well, one of them said I don't know, a month ago on Spectrum that they don't really like fixing bugs because it's just time consuming and there's no point right now. So yeah, they're probably just fixing the major visual glitches and all of that, and I mean that's fine. Okay, sure.
The idea is that we find and iron out any of the issues before it is delivered directly to the QA department, so they can then get it out to the the backers and the wider public.
Right now I'm working on the IAE halls. The Drake Interplanetary are kind of taken hold this year. They're running the show. Theme-wise, it's very different. That's not just sort of simple color changes, it's kind of the overall feel of the event. The floor layouts have also changed, so the lights that are going to be lighting up the ships are going to be all different. Basically, I need to make sure that, well, the events aren't dark to begin with, lighting the ships on display correctly. The various environment probes around the area are reacting correctly to their environment. Color grades working correctly. You know, the atmospheric fog that's placed in the area by the team is present and reacting to lights properly. I think the lighting team have done a great job. I think the environment teams in general have done a great job, but because I sort of am speaking for the lighting team, I really like what they've done. Yeah, looks awesome.
I mean, really, there's not much that you can say here. Yeah, the IAE hall looks nice. I saw it in the PTU. It was up for a day, and then like a couple days later it was again up for like a few hours, and I saw it. It's nice, and that's it. But like it's a fucking hole where you will like go and check out the holograms and rent ships and all of that. So that's not really important. I don't really know why they spent like 2 minutes on the ISC for this segment, but sure, let's continue.
Because we've had a bit extra time, we've been able to actually bring out these outposts. They weren't initially meant to come out for 3.18. When 3.17 came out, we had just initially 5 derelict outposts on Microtech, but now we're times that by 7. So when 3.18 rolls out, there should be 35 derelict outposts, 10 on Microtech, 10 on Hurston, and between 1 to 6 on various different moons throughout the Stanton system.
All right, I'm not saying that these guys are doing a bad job, but somebody down the line is doing a bad job because remember when they released the outposts like originally, and in every single outpost there was a spot in the middle somewhere that you would just like step on and it will kill you immediately. You would just like snap and die immediately. So that got fixed. Hopefully, I think. I didn't really like visit any outposts in the past. Well, 6 months, because I haven't played for 6 months. I played this PTU and I hopped into the PU like, 2 weeks ago once, and that's it. But this is a good thing. Like having more variety, having more things to do and things to see is good. Although I must say that these outposts are just too small. They're not really for like exploration. They're just like, you got to take a mission, you got to go there. And there is no way that you will find them without a mission, unless if they're really close to like a landing zone or a point of interest. But other than that, I don't really have much to say because they're just like variations to the outposts. And if you're not new to the channel, you will know that I'm going to be happy with this because there's going to be more of them. And just like having more variety in this game is amazing, and that's it.
Well, the players can go through and explore the environment. They can look for loot boxes, so they can get a munch or maybe find a multi-tool or just things that they could sell at kiosks. There are also delivery missions as well, similar to ones that you've seen in 3.17, where the players will go to a derelict outpost, which is occupied by 9 tails, take them out, get the delivery box, and deliver it to wherever it needs to go.
Imagine being a DoorDash guy that needs to a DoorDash, or in Serbia it's Glovo, or like whatever, like food delivery guy, or Amazon guy. Everybody knows about Amazon and their like delivery services. So imagine being that guy and carrying a fucking rifle and just like killing thugs that like stole your cargo, so you need to like retrieve it, or like maybe being a FedEx guy with a fucking shotgun. Just like carrying a Wilson right next to you, like a ball that you talk to, and a shotty, so you can just like take your boxes back, so you can like retrieve them and give them to the rightful owners. It's still a bit weird to me, but sure, like until we get something else to do in those outposts, I guess this is fine.
So some of the issues that we've seen so far with the derelict outpost are related to AI. As you might have seen in CitizenCon, there have been some updates to the combat AI, and it's kind of slowly making its way into the PU. So there's a few little teething issues there just to make sure that the AI are actually working correctly within the derelict outpost on the planets and hopefully not walking into walls.
While he was saying working correctly, you saw this, and you see that they are not working correctly, and the AI is never going to work correctly until so not like in absolutes, I'm not speaking in absolutes, but it's not going to work correctly until we get a better fucking tick rate. Because without the much needed tick rate fixes, there's not going to be I in the AI. It's just going to be A, artificial what? Like they're just going to T-pose and that's it. Let's continue.
Because 3.18 is got a lot of content coming, with say like PES, for instance, it has been a bit more of a challenging release, just because obviously the new issues that are coming up because of PES, but I think that the teams are tackling it as quickly as they possibly can. we're thankful that we're getting the extra time to kind of really flesh it out and make sure that it's a quality release for the players.
I mean, honestly, if you expect quality from this game at this point, after fucking 10, pushing on 11 years of development, or actually 11 years because they started like back in 2011 before the Kickstarter, so they can have something to show for the Kickstarter. So if you're expecting quality right now, and you saw that we had such a quality patch for the past fucking year, because 3.17 was the only patch that we got this year. And if you're still expecting quality, and if you trust this, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, I do not know what to tell you. But also for the White Knights that are currently writing their comments, hateful comments, yeah, the quality is gonna like go up in time at some point, maybe. Well, probably, but not now, because right now it's shit. And you going to Microtech to make screenshots, that's not gameplay, and that's not what a game is fucking supposed to be. So I'm talking about the game, you're talking about a fucking simulator of nothing, basically, and a simulator of you just chilling on your fucking A90J yacht, and that's it. And I'm gonna stop because I'm getting angry. But yeah, basically, at some point we will get more quality, and we will get like a better experience in this game, but not now. And it's not in the next couple of years, unfortunately. So let's continue.
Currently, I am working on the new rest stop stations that are going to be found in the Pyro system once we release that in the upcoming 4.0 patch. Because these stations are lawless and there's going to be no like green zones to govern your behavior on the stations, we're going over it just to make sure that the locations are fun for the backers to engage in combat. So we've been covering stuff like sniping spots, combat routes, balance against facing AI, also identifying issues, potential issues with the environment that might hinder the gameplay experience, such as potential issues with lighting and fog.
All right, so let's start off with this. Them showing what's going to happen in 4.0 right now at this point, with like us waiting for 3.18 still for basically a half a year. That only means that they do not have much to show, like what we're gonna get up until we get 4.0. So I think that the next patches are gonna be lackluster. I'm not sure that we're gonna get 3.18 and then 3.19 and then 4.0. I think that there's gonna be 3.19.1, 2, 3, 4 until we get 4.0. But we'll see. I guess we'll see. I'm just speculating, of course, but knowing CAG and like having seen how they are developing this game and what they're doing in the past 2 years, and like hearing about shit that they've done in the past, that's the only conclusion that I can have. Now, secondly, I like the idea of lifting the armistice zones and all of that, but that is not gonna work in this game for a couple of reasons. I'm hopeful that it is gonna work, but also I'm scared that it's gonna be really, really hard to like stay there in Pyro. I mean, so first of all, yes, I wanna like my org. Link in the description. We're not playing right now, so like there's no point in joining because we're just waiting for 3.18 so we can play the game actually, because 3.17 is boring. But my org in the lore is like based in Pyro, and we're gonna be in Pyro for forever, basically. And yes, we're gonna branch out and do other stuff in other systems, but my org is based in Pyro. And I'm really, really excited to see Pyro, but having like a no armistice zone in the Pyro stations, it's so first of all, you gotta fix, like, this is a really long and hot topic. So first of all, you gotta fix the party system, because without that and without markers showing on your friends, there's no point in having anything like this, because you're just gonna like shoot your friends. Secondly, there needs to be a safe zone. There still needs to be some kind of a safe zone, because you know that the biggest org is gonna like be there and keep that station for themselves. Because if you take a look at like competitive games such as, I don't know, Overwatch or any game like that, Team Fortress 2, etc., or even Squad, which is like a semi-realistic shooter. It's basically what Theaters of War was supposed to be. If you look at games like that, you still have your like spawn area where you are safe and they cannot shoot you. Just to like prevent spawn camping. Now, if people are just gonna camp the doors, and you know that they will, you will not be able to enter said station, and it's gonna be like this is all assuming that there is something worthwhile on the station itself. I know I've seen the video and I see that like there are medical facilities there, but like still I don't want to really jump to conclusions because as we saw in the ISCs before, they tend to say stuff without any like connotation or like even meaning, because like in the end it's gonna be like completely different. Like in the last ISC, they were saying and showing how the ships are gonna explode and the boxes are just gonna leave the ships like they're fucking confetti, and then like the cargo boxes. And then they said like in the AMA on the spectrum, like not on the video but on the spectrum on the forums, they said that there's gonna be more boarding because most of the ships are, like most of the time the ships are gonna have a soft death or be disabled, and you will need to board them. So the whole segment of the ISC was just like half of the ISC was just pointless because they were showing something else, and then they said that like 70% of the time that will not happen, but they said that on the forums. So with this, I don't know. I can't wait to see it, but also I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be annoying as hell and that it's not gonna work as intended because, well, we don't even fucking know what the intentions are behind this whole thing. But the main point that I'm trying to make here is that you need some kind of an armistice zone where everybody could spawn so we can try and overtake it for ourselves, or where we can buy stuff if the station is made for that. Because like if that's the only station that's close to you and you wanna like refuel, rearm, or buy a set of armor or whatever, if that's even gonna be available in that station, and there's like an org of 100 people like being there and not letting you get in, just shooting you on sight when they see you so they can loot you and loot your ship, there's no fucking point in going there, right? Because you're gonna waste like an hour of like respawning and coming back to that same spot so you can do the same thing. Like I don't know how it's gonna work. We still need to see more on this.
Potential bottlenecks and choke points in the station layout that might cause problems for players and end up getting bottlenecked by another hostile group. We found some issues with some of the environmental puzzles currently. There's a bit of desync. If I was to disable, say, an electronic trap, it would not show up for the other player. So we've been working, like getting some debug and stuff to make sure that the devs are fully aware of what the issue is and they can rectify this before a wider release.
Oh, there's a bit of desync? You don't say.
There's a dramatic difference between these stations and the ones that are found in the Stanton system. They're very dark and oppressive in nature, very run down, and they offer a lot more gameplay opportunities for players and also a lot more possibilities and overall experience that the current rest stops just are not capable to cater to.
See, like this is what I said. Like you have ASOP terminals, so you can spawn your ships. You have like the medical facilities, so you can spawn. So is that like a point of interest where you will go and fight the PV bounties or like whatever, like NPCs or whatever? Or is that something that you will need to hold as an org for a certain amount of time so you can spawn your ships, so you can like, or is it just something that like it is completely going to be different and is not going to be as scary as they are saying right now? Like we don't know. That's the issue. Like to a certain point, I like scary. I like jumping into fire and not knowing what's gonna be there and what I'm gonna see there, and if somebody's gonna shoot at me, etc. But on the other point, on the other hand, I really don't want this game to turn into Rust or any other MMO survival game where everybody's just gonna shoot everybody on sight, because the spawn times and everything, you have a lot to lose, and after 10 years, 11 years of waiting just to be shot immediately once you land on a station, it's just gonna be fucking it's gonna be really frustrating. So they need to show us more of this and how this whole thing is gonna work, but I guess they will do that at some point down the line when we get closer to 4.0, somewhere in 2025 or something like that.
What I want to try to emphasize to the community is just how important and respected QA is.
They're cute. They're cute.
Within CIG, we're constantly looking out for issues and ensuring that the quality of the game is as high a standard as possible.
Once we've been through a stretch and we've got a new patch out to see how the backers responding to the new content and to see how they're enjoying it, it's always a highlight to see just how many people enjoy what we're doing.
I mean, at this point, I really don't know on which door to knock at. I'm pretty sure that these guys are doing their best, but also I'm pretty sure that the devs are doing their best. But why the fuck is the quality of the game, of the alpha, of the pre-alpha, of the tech demo, of the fucking source code, whatever, why is it this bad? Honestly, just tell me, why is this bad? Why are some reoccurring bugs are still there for fucking 4, 5, 6 years? Why do you land on a planet and fucking die once you step on it? Why, if you watch my channel, you already know about all the complaints. And I'm gonna try not to rant here at all, because there's no fucking point, because I've ranted my ass off for fucking year and a half, almost 2 years now. And what's the point? Who is the one to blame? Who is the one that needs to fix that? Just fix the fucking game, CG. I'm not talking about these guys, but whenever they talk about QA and whenever they talk about them fixing bugs, and we still have fucking persistent bugs for forever, for fucking ever, then who is the one to blame? Who is the one to say, okay, I'm gonna fix this? Who is the one that's gonna fix the spawning without a head issue? There's a bunch of shit. Who's the one that's gonna fix the fucking party system and the fact that you click on one ship on the A subterminal for this past fucking 6 months and you claim another one? Who is gonna fix the? I'm ranting now. I'm ranting. I'm gonna stop.
I'm sure there's people out there, some of our backers that would want to get into this industry, and the QA is a good
Entry-level position.
entry-level position. Yeah,
Look right into this camera and say, we're hiring.
we're hiring.
That's it.
Hey, come closer. So what if one of you guys applied for the job? No, hear me out. I know that the pay is probably gonna be shit, but no. Just listen. So you apply for the job and you give me insight in how the things are working there so I can sell the whole world. What do you think about that? I mean, they're not gonna fucking hire me for sure. Even if I wanted to apply, they would never hire a loudmouth like I am, because they're just gonna get fucking angry and pissed off, and they're just gonna fire me immediately on my first day. Once I tell them that they fucking need to fix the game. They fucking need to fix all the shit that I just said just a minute ago. So so just go and apply for the job, please, and hop into my community channel and we can talk. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Quality assurance teams are an essential element of any video games development, and embedding them right there into the pits next to the designers, next to the artists, next to the programmers allows for a synchronicity of purpose and an acknowledgement of necessity that's been a hallmark of Star Citizen's development for years. And while technical teams continue to put Alpha 3.18 through its paces ahead of its now scheduled December release, the delay from its original publish has provided a number of limited opportunities to content teams to afford them chances they might not otherwise have been able to utilize. And for members of the EU Sandbox 1 team, that means getting to continue an initiative started earlier this year to research community-created racetracks in the Stanton system and find new ways to incorporate them officially into the very fabric of the persistent universe.
All right, so a quick disclaimer here. If you're not into racing in Star Citizen with like your ships, because this is just going to be like ship racing tracks and all that, the next segment is not really for you. But also, I'm not going to only talk about racing. There are going to be some other topics that I'm going to mention here and there. But basically, we're going to get 3 new racetracks and yeah, like 2 of which are okay-ish, they're like community made, and the third one is going to be an ArcCorp, and I can't wait to see it because it's amazing. But also there are some other topics that I want to talk about, and you'll see in a second, so let's continue.
So the yellow racetrack was taken inspiration from one of the racetracks built by the community, which was the Grim Prospects racetrack on the Star Citizen Racing Discord, I believe. So there are some on there that are exact. We've taken, direct copies of those tracks, but the yellow one is a little bit different because we've moved it slightly away from Grimhex into an adjacent asteroid field. So our designer in DE, Antoine Fauville, he's taken, a course and he's made it for the players to play. I think it's just really nice to have more space POIs. We have, attractions like Grimhex, but we need more in the surrounding vicinity. So, it might be a case of where you're just flying through the asteroid ring in yellow, trying to get to the planet's surface, and you come across something like this. And we've really built up the structures with refinery modules and cargo modules that we've used before. So it's a nice point of interest, and also it looks cool. We're using lots of the natural formations of the rocks themselves and also asteroid tethers and stuff like that that are already in the game. Those are our natural checkpoints for the race.
Right, so first of all, this looks nice. It really does. Yeah, it's nice that they're catering to the racing community because, a bunch of racers and almost said racists for some fucking reason. I don't know why. So, a bunch of racers, they were neglected for a long time, forever, since the start of this game, basically. And they're gonna get a bunch of tracks now, and that's nice. They got the Snake Pit. I guess the Snake Pit is also gonna get updated with markers and all of that for the time trials, etc. It's nice. But also there is one more thing that I want to say about this. These markers that you can see right here, they are not really, you can't really count on them. And I would love to have that system updated first, or the server tech rated, etc., etc. Because everything is tied to the server. And these markers are going to be tied to the server. And I don't know how these racers are going to work if those markers do not update at the speed as they should. But I guess we'll see. Maybe this is gonna work, maybe not, we never know. But as I've said, it's nice to see some variety. It's nice to see some actual, the M50 and the Razor and the 350R are actually going to get some love now, and people are actually going to race, even though I think the Merlins are better. The Merlin and the Archimedes, the Snub Fighters, are just better for this.
I think it's really cool that we have a community that we can take inspiration from and build something of our own. As much as we play test, as much as we spend time in the engine, the players are the ones who are spending hours and hours refining their skills and thinking of new activities to do. So for example, with the Grim Prospects racetrack, it was quite bare. They were just racing around a pre-memorized route, going around all of these asteroids. But now we can really delineate that race, and we can art it up and make it look pretty as well, so people have more memorable moments to talk about.
The only thing that I don't understand about this is Grimhex is supposed to have a racetrack of its own, and why aren't they making the racetrack there first? Probably because this is just a tier 0 racetrack and racing system, because they probably just want to take the racers off their backs, basically, and just give them something so they can play with their own game, and let's continue making the game. So it's nice, but also I don't get it, but also it's nice.
From Yila,
Jared, It's Yella.
Yella?
Yella. Repeat after me. Yella.
Yella?
Yeah, Yella.
We'll head over to Yella.
A lot of people call it Yella. I call it Yella.
Is this another American English thing?
Well, it's a West Coast thing. Yella?
Yella?
For fuck's sake.
We move to Euterpe, named for the ancient Greek muse of music, the smallest and perhaps most barren of Microtech's 3 moons.
What I'm currently working on now is the racing track on Utopia. It's called Icebreaker.
I can't anymore. Fucking Jared calls it Euterpe. This guy calls it Utopia. It's Euterpe. Euterpe. If you want to pronounce it, Euterpe. Yeah, Jared was right this time. But also it's Efterpe. Efterpe, if you're Greek. Something like that, basically. But Jesus, oh God, it's the goddess of music. Basically, it's the muse, not the goddess of music, but it's the muse. Go read your mythology, Greek mythology. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I believe it was actually from the community originally. And what we did is we took that initial bare-bone structure and we basically created using the Microtech prefabs and assets. Is we actually created like a little research facility based. We've kept the path as close as we could to the initial community racetrack, but what we've done is we've added bits of flavour in from structures to fly past, structures to fly under, and then we've done a bit of a lighting pass to kind of help navigate the player around this space, but without feeling like the intention beforehand was meant to be for racing. It was meant to be this kind of large open front sea kind of facility with like long struts coming out and kind of good. There's good vantage points as well for like when the players come together, that we have little landing pad spots that where you could group up, get together, you could watch your teammates flying around, trying to beat one another kind of competitively. On Utopia, there's not actually tons of POIs, and I think, to be honest, this new space, this new location is going to be one of the key locations on this moon.
Now, I wanted to leave this whole segment in so it will like sink in, and so you could see how beautiful this is, and so you can start thinking of like, what if we had outposts like that, like you can see here, and you can enter them and you can have FPS missions inside of them. That would be amazing, right? Or just like I don't know, investigation missions, like anything that makes you leave your ship and walk around the town that's on the planet. But it's still basically a desolate wasteland because you will not be able to enter those, and maybe they're gonna like do a delivery box mission on top of one of the roofs there, and that's it. But I don't see them making an interior for like an FPS mission inside. So that's basically what I want from the bunkers and from the underground bunker facilities. Imagine that, like having like a town basically that you enter and you need to find a guy and shoot him, but he's protected and all of that, like just like in any other game or in like fucking sci-fi shows that we grew up on. But yeah, it looks nice, but unfortunately it's just for racing. It's not for the rest of the community that's playing the game. I'm probably gonna try them out. I'm not really into racing. I'm into low flying, not really into racing because yeah, I don't really like time trials and all that. But yeah, on top of that, in the end they showcased it's just music and like pictures running. I'm just gonna have the video running over me right now. It's the R-Corp race track and it looks mighty fine. It's really good. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to race between the buildings. This is the only one that I'm actually excited for and I really want to see. And yeah, that's basically the whole ISC. And yeah, Jared, sign us off.
So what did we learn this week?
Well, thank you for asking asking, Jared, we have learned that next week you have, or CAG has the biggest sales event for Star Citizen of the year. So you're hyping the shit out of the game, and you're telling us that everything is going to be fine, and that like QA guys are working, and that like that's going to improve the quality of the game and reduce the amount of bugs in the future, and it's all psychological. And then you're catering to the racing community and all of that, which is nice. They were, as I've said, neglected for fucking years, so that's cool. But also, if people played this game for more than a year, they would know what's up. And yeah, so Jared, I'm sorry, but like we didn't really learn much today, except the racetracks and yeah, a couple of new outposts, and that's it. So with that said, I don't know. This ISC was better than the most of the ISCs that we had in the whole fucking past year. And IAE is why. So next IAE, they're gonna reveal the RSI Galaxy, the Drake Cutter, the Medical Pisces, the whatever it's called, the Corsair, the ship that I actually want, and you're gonna buy them, and they're gonna earn more than 100 million this year, because yeah. I mean, I don't care. Let them like earn money, but I also want a fucking playable experience, and that's it. So with that said, thank you for watching, and thank you to all my patrons for supporting the channel. And if you want to support the channel, there's going to be a link down in the description of the video. And yeah, you're supporting me for not really making these kinds of videos. I mostly put more effort into my videos, but I'm like time constrained. I don't want to release this tomorrow, so there is probably no music under my voice, and there's like, yeah, but if you want to support me for being me, for saying the things that I'm saying, or for buying ships for Star Citizen so I can like review them or give them away, etc., you can do it by going into the info section of the video, and there's a Patreon link. Well, like $1 per person, 100 people, $100. That's how it works. So yeah, thank you again, and don't forget to bring a towel when you're traveling to space, and mwah, bye.